The winner of the Super Bowl was just announced 1 hour ago at the time that I am recording this video. And the Buccaneers managed to get the best of the Chiefs as they ended up winning 31-9 in a game that I expected to be really good and a game that I was really hyped up for, mainly because of the quarterback situation, ended up being a beatdown. And the Chiefs made many mistakes in this game that really caused them to lose the game. I'll be going more in depth about those mistakes in today's video. But before we get started, if you guys enjoy videos like these, taking 1 second to hit the subscribe button would be really helpful towards my channel. And if you guys want to shout out to your channel, make sure to comment down below and we can help all of our channels grow together. And now, let's get right into the video. This game was probably the most hyped up game in the past decade, mainly because of the two quarterbacks, Patrick Mahomes and Tom Brady. Tom Brady was a quarterback out of the University of Michigan, and he managed to get drafted to the Patriots in the 6th round, and we all know what happened then. He reached 9 Super Bowls in 19 years with the team and managed to win 6 of them, breaking countless passing records and being known as probably the greatest quarterback of all time, if not the greatest player of all time. But then this new player came along just a few years ago, Patrick Mahomes, out of Texas Tech, and he played incredible right out the gate. He was drafted by the Chiefs in the 1st round, and he was a very hyped up quarterback, and in 3 years in the NFL, as a starter, he's already managed to reach 2 Super Bowls, win 1 Super Bowl, and win an NFL MVP, really changing the way that quarterbacks play. Whenever someone drafts a quarterback, they always have to compare it to Patrick Mahomes, because he is the standard of a quarterback, and might even be known as the GOAT in the future. So this game was very hyped up, mainly because of the quarterbacks. But in my previous video, which was a prediction video, I claimed that the main difference maker for this game wouldn't be how good the quarterbacks played, but how could the defenses stop the quarterbacks. And honestly, I was 100% right. I also did say that the Buccaneers would win, but I thought the game would be a lot closer, since the defense of the Buccaneers managed to play really well. The defense for the Buccaneers really stepped it up this game, and mainly the defensive line, who were able to pressure Mahomes 29 times, getting to him over 5 times. This is an NFL record of pressures, and the most Mahomes has had to face in his entire NFL career. And this mainly did happen because of offensive line injuries to the Chiefs. Both of their starting star tackles, Eric Fisher and Mitchell Schwartz, were both out from previous injuries, causing them to have to move players around. And the defense for the Buccaneers is already very strong, mainly the defensive line, with players like Jason Pierre-Paul and Shaquille Barrett on the end, while they also got blitzers such as Levante David and Devin White. Because of this, Mahomes couldn't get away from these guys, and he couldn't, if you watch the game, he couldn't get a break. And obviously, he usually has a very strong offensive line around him, so he's not used to all these pressures. So that really did get to him, and he never really had chance in the pocket to throw the ball, causing him to have to run out of the pocket and try to make plays. And even when he made an incredible throw, sometimes his teammates would drop it. An example is Darrell Williams, who dropped a throw in the end zone in which Mahomes had to roll out like 20 yards. So because of this is one of the main reasons why they lost the game. Another part that I said in my prediction video was that if the Chiefs are going to lose, it'll also be in big part because of their defense, and mainly pinpointing towards the secondary. Sure, they have some strong players there, such as Tyrann Mathieu, but the defense was a big problem for them earlier in the year. A good example is their game against the Oakland Raiders, in which they were undefeated and they were really heavy favorites to win that game, but they ended up losing that game, and the defense let up 37 points that game. It was a good game, by the way. But the defense was the reason that the Chiefs did lose this game, other than the Bucs defense. And this is because of all the penalties that they had. I'm sure this might be a little bit obvious if you guys watched this game, but in the game, the refs called a total of 15 penalties for 160 yards, and 11 of those were called against the Chiefs for 120 yards. And this was big, since it also caused the Chiefs, towards the end of the first half, to let up 2 touchdowns to the Buccaneers. The Buccaneers were trying to kick a field goal, and the Chiefs had an offsides call. And then the main one that people have been getting really mad about were all of the pass interference calls. There were some calls and balls that were pretty much deemed uncatchable in situations, and that did make them lose the game on 4th downs and 3rd downs, giving the team free 1st downs. And because of that, the Buccaneers got such a huge lead at the end of the first half that it was difficult for even Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs to be able to come back from the game. Now, the Chiefs' defense was basically doomed from the start, because if you look at what the Buccaneers have, it's almost impossible to stop that really strong offense. Sure, earlier in the year, the Chiefs managed to almost destroy and obliterate the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, which was why I was a little bit worried about how well the Buccaneers would play this game. But the Buccaneers still have such a strong team around them. They obviously have that really good wide receiver core that everyone has to worry about, with Chris Godwin, Scotty Miller, and Mike Evans, all Pro Bowl caliber players. But then the running game was also a big threat for the team this game, and the defensive line wasn't able to stop them. Leonard Fournette managed to run for 89 yards and 1 touchdown, along with having 4 receptions. He is obviously a player who came from the AFC, and he was a free agent who signed with the team, and a lot of players signed with the Buccaneers this year. Antonio Brown, Tom Brady, Leonard Fournette. Almost like Tom Brady's a magnet for more players. But Leonard Fournette has been playing so well in this offseason. And then there's also Ronald Jones, who's kind of came into a secondary role for the team, but he also managed to rush for 61 yards. So all around, this was just a great performance by the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, since they managed to beat the Chiefs on all end, and managed to even beat Patrick Mahomes and get to him. So at the end of all this, I do believe that the Buccaneers managed to play a great game, and the Chiefs tried to do all they could, but the Buccaneers just came in prepared, and they just played better, and they made less mistakes altogether. And Mahomes, I don't think he had a bad game. 270 yards and 2 interceptions. Compared to what the rest of the team did, he had a pretty solid game, even though most of his yards managed to go to Travis Kelce, who had 133 receiving yards that game. But he tried his best. He rolled out of the pocket. He made some pretty incredible throws that I've not even seen players like Aaron Rodgers make before. But the Buccaneers were just a better team today, and Brady won his 7th Super Bowl ring. But before I wrap this video up, if you guys can take 1 second to hit that like button and subscribe, it would be really helpful towards my channel and helps me make more videos like these more often. And if you guys want a shout out to your channel, make sure to comment down below. And leave your opinions about the Super Bowl in the comments below. I would love to read all of them. Thank you guys so much for watching. See you next time.